In a village surrounded by endless savanna plains, the people lived close to nature, guided by the wisdom of their ancestors. The sun shone brightly during the day, making the earth hot and dry, while the nights were filled with the sounds of crickets and distant animal calls. Life in the village was peaceful, and the villagers followed the traditions passed down from generation to generation. Among the villagers was a young woman named Zara. She was known for her beauty, but even more for her sharp mind and strong will. Zara was the daughter of Kofi, the village's most respected warrior. From a young age, she had learned the ways of the village, helping her father and understanding the stories and lessons of the ancestors. The villagers admired her and often sought her advice on different issues. Each year, the village held a special ceremony to honor the ancestors. It was a time when the villagers danced, sang, and made offerings to the spirits who were believed to watch over them. This year, during the ceremony, something unusual happened. As the villagers gathered around the sacred fire, Zara felt a strong sensation, as if the world around her was fading away. Her vision blurred, and suddenly she found herself in a place that seemed both familiar and strange. In this place, the air was thick and mist, and the ground felt soft beneath her feet. She looked around, trying to make sense of where she was, when she saw a figure emerging from the mist. It was the spirit guide, a being that the villagers believed only appeared in dreams and visions. The spirit guide was a tall figure with eyes that seemed to hold all the knowledge of the world. "Zara," the spirit guide spoke in a soft tone, "you have been chosen by the ancestors. You will bear a child who is destined to unite our village with the neighboring tribes. This child will bring peace and prosperity that will last for generations. But there is a test. The father of this child will be revealed through a series of trials that will test the hearts and spirits of the men in this village." Zara's heart raced as she listened. She felt honored, but also a little afraid. The responsibility of such a prophecy was great, and she knew it would bring change in her life and the life of her people forever. Before she could ask the spirit's guide any question, the vision ended and she found herself back to the ceremony, surrounded by her people. The sacred fire crackled before her, and the villagers continued to sing, unaware of what had just happened to Zara. When the ceremony ended, Zara couldn't stop thinking about the vision. She knew she had to tell the village elders, the wise men and the women who gathered the community with their knowledge and experience. The next morning, Zara went to the elders' hut. She explained everything she had seen and heard in her vision. The elders listened carefully, their faces serious as they considered her words. After a long discussion, the elders agreed that the vision was real and that the prophecy must be fulfilled. They decided that the village would prepare for the trials, which would reveal the father of the child and the next leader of the village. The news of the prophecy spread quickly throughout the village. The men, especially those who were married, were eager to prove themselves worthy. Among them was Kanu, Zara's childhood friend. Kanu was a brave and skilled warrior, known for his courage and loyalty. He had always cared deeply for Zara, and now he saw a chance to win her heart and secure the future of the village. As the village buzzed with excitement and anticipation, Zara wondered what the future held for her and her people. The trial would test not only the strength of the men, but also the strength of her own spirit. The village was alive with excitement as the elders announced the details of the trials. Each trial would represent one of the elements: earth, water, and fire. The trials would test the men's strength, wisdom, and courage. The elders explained that only the men who passed all three trials will be worthy of fathering the child destined to bring peace to the village. The first trial was a test of strength and endurance. The men were required to trek across the savannah to retrieve a sacred herb known for its healing properties. This herb grew only in a small patch of land far from the village, in a place where the sun beat down relentlessly and the ground was as dry and cracked. On the day of the first trial, the sun was already high in the sky when the men gathered at the edge of the village. The elders gave them each a small pouch of water and wishten log. The men set off, their footsteps raising small clouds of dust as they walked. The journey was long and difficult. The sun was unforgiving, and the heat seemed to snap their strength with every step. Kanu, determined to succeed, pushed himself forward even as the sun blazed overhead. He knew that this was a chance to prove himself. As he walked, he thought of Zara's vision and the responsibility that came with it. He couldn't afford to fail. After hours of waiting, Carlo finally reached the patch of the land where the sacred herb grew. The patch was even drier here, and the herb was hidden among thorny bushes. Kano carefully picked a handful of the herbs and placed them in his pouch. He took a moment to rest, drinking the last of the water he had before starting the long journey back to the village. By the time Kano returned, the sun was beginning to set. The villagers had gathered to welcome the men back and to see who had succeeded. Kano walked into the village, tired but triumphant, with the sacred herb in his pouch. The elders inspected the herbs and nodded in approval. Kano had passed the first trial, earning the respect of the villagers. The second trial tested the men's wisdom and patience. They were required to navigate the treacherous water of the nearby river, where they had to catch a rare fish said to be the messenger of the water spirits. The river was wide and deep, and its currents were strong. The men will have to be careful and patient if they were to succeed. On the morning of the second trial, the men gathered by the river bank. The water flowed swiftly, making it clear that this trial would not be easy. The elders gave the men simple fishing tools, a line, a hook, and a small piece of bait. The fish they needed to catch was known for being elusive, and it was said that only those who respected the river and its inhabitants would be able to catch it. Kanu found a quiet spot along the river bank and cast his line into the water. He knew that he needed to be patient. As the hours passed, some of the men grew frustrated and left the river bank empty-handed. But Kanu remained calm and focused. Just as the sun began to dip below the horizon, Kanu felt a tug on his line. He carefully pulled it in, and to his delight, he found the rare fish wriggling at the end of the hook. He quickly removed the fish from the line and placed it in a small basket he had brought with him. Kanu returned to the village with the fish, once again, earning the praise of the elders and the admiration of the villagers. The final trial was a test of courage. The men had to confront the fire spirits that guarded the entrance to an ancient cave filled with the relics of ancestors. The spirit was known to be fierce, and only those with pure hearts could pass. The trial took place at the night under the light of the full moon. One by one, the men approached the cave, but the fire spirit's flames grew fiercer, turning away those whose intentions were not pure. Kanu stepped forward, but as he approached, the flames wavered. They did not turn him away, but they did not fully welcome him either. Just as Kanu was about to enter, a stranger stepped forward. The stranger introduced himself as Ayo, a traveler from a distant land. He explained that he had been guided to the village by the spirit and had arrived just days before. The villagers were curious about the newcomer, but the elders, sensing something special about him, allowed him to take part in the final trial. As Ayo approached the cave, the fire spirit's flames immediately calmed. The villagers watched in awe as he walked through the flame with ease. Inside the cave, Ayo found the relics of the ancestors, ancient items filled with the history and wisdom of the village. Among these relics was a large fragment of the sacred stone, which the spirit guide had mentioned in Zara's vision. As Ayo picked up the stone, it began to glow with a warm, radiant light. Ayo returned to the entrance of the cave, holding the glowing stone high above his head. The villagers were silent, realizing that the spirit had made their choice. Kanu, though disappointed, accepted the outcome of the grace. Understanding that the ancestors had spoken, he had completed the trials with honor, but it was clear that Ayo was the chosen one by the spirits. As his villagers gathered around, the elders announced that the trials were complete. The man chosen by the spirit had been revealed, and the prophecy was one step closer to being fulfilled. But the night was not over. The spirit guide appeared in a collective vision, revealing the truth about Ayo. He was not just a traveler, but the son of a long-lost branch of their own people, who had been separated by a great conflict generations ago. His return signified the unification of the people and the fulfillment of the prophecy. The villagers were amazed by the revelation. Ayo's presence was not just a sign of the prophecy's fulfillment, but also a symbol of the village's future, unity and prosperity. Zara, now confident in the prophecy's truth, accepted Ayo as the father of her child. She felt a deep connection with him, knowing that he had been guided to her by her ancestors. However, Zara did not forget Kanu's bravery and loyalty. She knew that his strength and wisdom were valuable, and he asked him to remain by their side as a protector and advisor. Kanu, though his heart ached, agreed to Zara's request. He knew that his place was with his people, helping to guide them through the challenges that lay ahead. The villagers celebrated late into the night, their hearts filled with hope and joy. The prophecy had brought them together, and they knew that their future was bright. But Zara and Ayo understood that their journey was just beginning. They had been chosen to lead their people, not just to the fulfillment of the prophecy, but to the challenges that would come as they worked to unite in neighboring tribes and bring lasting peace to the land. With the trials complete and the prophecy fulfilled, the village entered a new era. The villagers worked together, guided by the wisdom of the elders and the leadership of Zara and Ayo. They began to reach out to the neighboring tribes, seeking to build alliances and strengthen the bonds of peace. Zara gave birth to a healthy daughter, who they named Amara, meaning grace. Amara became a symbol of the village unity and the hope for a peaceful future. The villagers adored her, seeing in her the promise of a better tomorrow. Zara and Ayo raised Amara with love and care, teaching her the traditions of the people and the lessons of the ancestors. Kanu took on the role of a village protector and advisor. He led the warriors with wisdom and courage, ensuring that the village remained safe and strong. Though he still harbored feelings for Zara, he found peace in knowing that he was serving his people in the best way he could. He became a trusted friend and a mentor to Ayo, helping him navigate the responsibilities of leadership. As the years passed, the village prospered. The neighboring towns, once distant and weary, began to see the benefits of unity and peace. Trade flourished, and the people shared knowledge and resources, making life better for everyone. The prophecy had truly come to pass, and the village was living in a time of prosperity and harmony. Every year, during the ceremony of the ancestors, the villagers would tell the story of the trials. They spoke of Zara's vision, the bravery of the men who faced the trials, and the arrival of Aya, who had been guided by the Spirit. The story became a part of their history, a reminder of the importance of trust, unity, and the enduring wisdom of the ancestors. Zara, Aya, and Kanu continued to lead with humility, courage, and the understanding that true strength comes from within. They knew that the journey was never truly over, that there would always be new challenges to face. But they also knew that as long as they stayed true to the values that had guided them through the trials, they would be able to overcome anything that came their way. As the sun set each evening, casting a golden light over the savannah, Zara would often stand at the edge of the village, looking out at the horizon. She knew that the ancestors were still watching over her, guiding their steps and protecting their future. And with Amara by her side, she felt a deep sense of peace, knowing that the future was bright and filled with promise. The echoes of the ancestors had brought them together, tested their spirits and their hearts, and had shown them the way forward. And as long as they listened to these echoes, they knew they would continue to grow stronger, more united, and more prosperous with each passing year. Thank you for watching, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do like, subscribe, comment, and share. We will see you in the next video.